Tough performance for you guys tonight. Did it feel like it just kind of got off on the wrong foot in that first quarter and you guys never really recovered and just maybe snowballed on itself throughout the rest of the game?
Yeah, obviously we didn't get off to a great start. There were very few high moments throughout this game. We just could not find our footing on either ends of the floor. They were the aggressor, and, these are the moments that you learn from and you grow from, for all of us, including myself. So we got to get better, and we will get better. But I'm proud of our guys overall, their effort this year. We put ourselves in this position, and it's a great learning moment for everybody. Next time we're in this position, we'll respond better, we'll be better. But obviously not the result or the effort we needed or wanted tonight. But congratulations to Indiana. I thought they were fantastic tonight. They played with great effort. Their veterans brought great presence to the game and experience, and they punched us in the mouth early and kept going.
Thank you.
Nick Carboni.
JB, more specifically to their start, what was it that allowed them to get off to such a hot start, especially from deep, and what was it that prevented you guys from being able to get back into it?
Yeah, you got to give them credit. They were making shots early. McDermott hit a number of shots, and Brogdon hit some shots early. This is a team that we were trying to protect the paint on and, live with some 3-point, attempts and give them credit. They made shots early. We did not. And we just had a hard time scoring the ball first half, and we just could not find our footing offensively to stay with them. But they're a good team.
Rob Boone.
Hey, JB, are you surprised you guys were not able to match their intensity? I guess they're especially early on being in the playoff game. And how much of that, I guess, inexperience from guys just not knowing what to expect in a game like this?
Well, I don't want to give our guys that excuse. Obviously, when you've been there and you've done it, and they have a number of guys, all-star caliber players that have been in these moments before. They knew what this game felt like. They had the urgency, they had the focus, they had the poise. They were not fazed or rattled by the moment. And, this is just something you have to learn over time. This is just, another learning block for us, and we got to learn from it and grow. And hopefully next time we're in this position, we respond better. But they played like a veteran group. They played like a tougher group. They played like a group that had been here before. They weren't fazed by the moment. But again, this is great training ground for our group. It's just how we respond now. To me, that's the bottom line of this game is how do we respond this summer in our type of work, in our type of attention to detail. And this has got to be used as fuel to only get better.
Phil?
To that point, JB, after the season you've had to have it end like this, how long does it take to look back and appreciate the whole thing in some without kind of boiling it down to this last game?
Sure. Yeah, I think over the next few days, I'll be able to, I want to sit with the group first, and talk to my guys over the next day or two. And more than anything, I'm really proud of them, and I shared that with them just now. It's a little bit of a learning moment for us, but also how extremely proud I am of this group. They battled all year. Nobody has any clue of what we went through as a group this year. And, we battled through adversity. We battled through injury, through virus, through the pandemic, and we never gave in. I think I don't want to look at tonight as a microcosm of our season. Obviously, it's disappointing how it ended, really the last week or so. But what I'll remember and I'll look at is the growth that we showed this year. And we'll come back stronger and better from this. So I just have a great appreciation and a respect for our guys. I really do. I'm not going to view our season based on this one game. I'm really proud of the steps they made, their commitment to this team, this organization. Obviously, we got a lot of decisions to make this summer, but that's for another day.
Josh Sims.
Hey, JB. During the game, I'm just curious what you say to the guys to try and rally the troops if things are starting to get out of hand. And at what point did you kind of know that just it wasn't your guys' night during this game?
Yeah, I don't know if there was a time, we just tried to stay consistent. We tried to, rally the troops. We tried to, get the group going. And, I think it feels overwhelming at times, I think the group at some level felt overwhelmed. And, it's just my job, our job to try to keep the group poised. And we tried to do that. But obviously we didn't respond the right way. Indiana had a lot to do with that. So give them credit. But, I thought our guys overall came into the game with the right mindset. Obviously we didn't respond when the game tipped off. But going back, I'll reflect and see things that, obviously we could have done better over the last 24, 48 hours. And move forward.
Will Kunkel?
Hey, JB, you touched on it a little bit earlier. The message to the guys in the locker room. How do you kind of break it down after a game like tonight and, as it ends the season?
Well, we got to remember this moment right here. This is where all great players, all great teams have felt this moment right here. And we're no exception. Every team has been smacked in the mouth in playoff games. Every team I've been a part of, great players, they've been smacked in the mouth at some level in the playoffs. It's how you respond from that. It's the guys that we need to drive the bus for us to get better. They got to remember this moment. They got to use it as fuel to get better. And that's really the message right now. And but I want them to know that I'm extremely proud of them as well. I'm honored to coach this group. I love this group. But we got a ways to go. We got to get better. And it's just a matter of how do we respond this summer? Do we use this as fuel or do we feel sorry for ourselves? And part of this is etching this in our memory bank. So as we grow, as we get better, as we work this summer, we don't forget this moment right now.
Will?
JB, obviously you guys have had to overcome a lot this year with injuries and the pandemic. What do you think is the hardest lesson that your group had to learn over this year, given everything that you had to go through as far as the adversity you saw this year?
I think it's just staying the course, Will. I think that's a over the course of this 72-game season, it was a grinding, grueling season. And, I don't want to get into that right now. Now's not the time, but I think our group overall showed resiliency. They kept getting up even through the adversity, through, the uncertainty. I think that was the biggest thing, Will, was just the uncertainty from day to day, week to week, injuries, virus testing. Yet our guys, you got to give them credit for being one of the youngest teams in the league. They responded at a very high level for a young group. Obviously, it caught up to us here down the stretch, but overall, I think just the lack of consistency, lack of practice time, it was a challenge for all of us. But I think we handled it, and we pushed our organization forward this year. It's not obviously where we want to be right now, but as I look back and reflect, we did take some really positive steps this year.
All right, guys, that's all the time we have with Coach. Thank you, JB.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you guys.
James Borrego and his young Hornets team, third most minutes this season in terms of first, second, and third-year players. So a young group with LaMelo Ball in contention, possibly winning Rookie of the Year. They finished 33-39, including that 5-game losing streak down the stretch, and they are out of the postseason again. Gordon Hayward signed in the offseason and a sign and trade to a $120 million deal. Was really good the first half of the season, but it played just 44 games because of that foot injury, and mentioned LaMelo Ball. So if you think about the Hornets, there's a lot to like moving forward, but this one's going to, no pun intended, this one's going to sting.
No, it's going to sting. It's going to hurt for a while, but